Oh, really? Where was it? Oh, really cold, huh?
It's like 60.
Oh, man.
That's cold.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, here we go. Good evening. This is a meeting of the Athens Board of Zoning Appeals. The time is 7:01 p.m. and the date is February 8th, 2022. At this time, I will call the meeting to order. The board consists of 5 members and 2 alternates, the alternates taking full part in the discussions and becoming a voting member in the absence of a member or when a member abstains for conflict of interest. Present tonight are members Robert DeLocke, Kelly Sauber, Kay Towsley, and alternate Aaron Thomas. I'm Lisa Carson, the chair. Also present is zoning administrator Mr. David Riggs. At this time, I invite you to view a pre-recorded video on the rules and procedures of the board. The Athens Board of Zoning Appeals operates according to the following procedure. The chair will name and describe the case. The zoning administrator or secretary will state the basis of the objection and any applicable facts or conditions pertaining to the case. The appellant or their representative will give reason why the appeal should be viewed favorably. Anyone wishing to speak in favor of the request will be heard. Anyone wishing to speak in general comment will be heard. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition will be heard. If necessary, the appellant or their representative will offer concluding, summary, or rebuttal remarks. Testimony from the floor shall be closed. The board will deliberate and render a decision. According to Athens City Code, Section 23.07.03b, the board has power to grant variances from the strict application of the code, provided the variance will not be contrary to the public interest, the spirit of the code is observed, public safety and welfare are secured, and substantial justice is done. According to Athens City Code, Section 23.07.10c, variances from the code shall not be granted unless the board makes specific findings of fact, based directly on the particular evidence presented to it, that the standards and conditions imposed in this title, if applicable, have been met by the applicant. Exceptional circumstances. There are exceptional or extraordinary circumstances or conditions applying to the property in question or to the intended use of the property that do not apply generally to other properties or classes or uses in the same zone. Practical difficulty and undue hardship. Because of exceptional or extraordinary circumstances or conditions pertaining to a specific piece of property, a literal enforcement of these regulations will result in practical difficulty or undue hardship that is unnecessary to the achievement of public purposes. Preservation of equal property rights. Literal interpretation of these regulations would deprive the appellant of rights commonly enjoyed by others in the same zone and the same vicinity, while a granting of the requested variance will not confer on the applicant any special privilege that is denied to other properties in the same zone and the same vicinity. Minimum variance. The variance granted is the minimum variance required to make possible the reasonable use of the property. Absence of detriment. The authorizing of such variance will not be of substantial detriment to adjacent property and will not materially impair the purpose of the zoning code or the public interest. Not of a general nature. The condition or situation of the specific piece of property or the intended use of said property for which variance is sought, one or the other or in combination, is not of so general or recurrent a nature as to make reasonably practicable the formulation of a general regulation for such condition or situation. Any person, resident, or officer, department, or appointed body of the City of Athens, aggrieved by a decision of the Board, may petition the Athens County Court of Common Pleas concerning the illegality of the decision. Such petition must be filed within 30 days after the mailing of the decision of the Board to the applicant. Thank you. Tonight's agenda. The first concerns the property at 110 Morris Avenue, and the second, the property at 34 Elmwood Place. The board is required to take testimony under oath. Would anyone wishing to speak concerning any item on the agenda please stand? Do you swear or affirm that any testimony you will present to the board will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. All right, the first case, 2201V at 110 Morris Avenue, appellants John and Tracy Hansen, is requesting a variance from Athens City Code 231001, Table A, Schedule of Bulk Controls, for a side setback of 5 feet, where 8 feet is the minimum, and a structure coverage of 34%, where 30% coverage is the maximum allowed. Mr. Riggs, do you have anything to tell us about that?
Just note that this Morris Avenue address is one of the original platted lots, and as you note, these lots are smaller than our standard lots that we require now in the city. These were in place before the new regulations came in place, and those regulations for setbacks and lot coverage are based on a standard sized lot, and this is smaller than a standard sized lot.
Thank you. Let's see, the appellant couldn't come to the podium, or appellants. Please state your names and address.
Sure. I'm Tracy Hansen at 110 Morris Avenue.
I'm John Hansen.
Okay, what do you want to tell us?
So when we first put in for the permit, we had put it for a 5-foot setback, thinking that we could do it without having to go through any extras here. But since we're here anyhow, we prefer to do a 4-foot setback. That way we can have a little bit wider laundry room. And we have large dogs, so they can run back and forth and not knock you down.
It's not a showstopper, either way, 4 feet, 5 feet.
Okay.
4 feet's preferable, but either way.
Okay, any questions for the appellant?
So this is basically, what's the construction plan for it? I wrote by the house, but I'm also looking at the pictures, so are you gonna extend it out?
Yes, we're looking at doing 15 feet long and 8 feet wide. And as you can tell from the pictures, right now the laundry room's in the basement, and the steps literally come to my head right here, so he can't help with laundry.
Well, I do.
Yeah, so it's going to be a long, more narrow, which is why we're asking for the 4-foot versus 5-foot.
Other questions? Okay, if you like, you can take your seat, and you may come back up if you wish to, after we go through this other evidence. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor of the request present here? I have a few letters that were submitted by neighbors, and I will read them into the record. The first one, to whom it may concern, I'm the neighbor of John and Tracy Hansen on Morris Avenue, and would like to express my support of their intention to build a 120 square foot addition on the west side of their house located at 110 Morris. I'm aware that this will require a variance to the side yard setback, along with a change to the structural coverage maximum, taking coverage past the 30% maximum. And that is David Ingram and Angela Cross, who live on Morris Avenue. A second letter, to whom it may concern, I am a direct neighbor of John and Tracy Hansen, located on Morris Avenue. I would like to state my support of their intention to be granted a variance to build a 120 square foot addition to their home located at 110 Morris Avenue in Athens. And that is from Chris Comfer, Ohio Avenue. The third letter, I would like to offer my support to my neighbors, John and Tracy Hansen, in their request for a variance to build a laundry room / mudroom / half bath off the kitchen on the side of their home. The addition to the structure should provide necessary space in a family home and not undermine the neighborhood aesthetics. That is from Jean Drevenstedt on Ohio Avenue. The fifth letter reads, John and Tracy Hansen's request for a variance to their property is not a concern to me, and should do nothing more than provide them the needed space to avoid the danger and inconvenience of carrying heavy loads of laundry down narrow stairs to a low clearance basement. And that is from Fran Arnold Wimes or Wims on Morris Avenue. So those are the supporters of the variance. I'm assuming that the people here, other people here are not interested in speaking on to this variance request. Do you think we should just go ahead and close? Are you all ready to consider and vote? Do you need any further information?
I think I just have one question. The family that would be most impacted would be at 102, directly next door. And I'm just wondering, I noticed there was no letter from those folks. Not that the
It's a
letter's
rental.
necessary. Sorry?
That house is a rental, so the owners don't live there, and we
Gotcha.
don't know them. So
Okay.
that's why we didn't get a letter from them.
Gotcha, okay. And to the same question, maybe Dave's the one to answer this, to the same point. I know your neighbor has a garage on the back of their property as well. How close are they to the property line?
It's a 5-foot setback, I
They're a
believe,
5-foot
from that
setback.
property line, the neighbor.
The neighbor,
neighbor.
you think it's pretty narrow, but
Yeah.
yeah, I haven't measured it.
And presently, your garage is a 2-foot setback.
No, my garage is a 5-foot setback.
Is a 5-foot setback
Yeah.
as well?
The
Okay.
fence kind of goes like this in that back there, so.
Gotcha,
Which way?
okay. All right. So this will be similar to both those setbacks?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Good
Thank you.
clarification.
Let's see. So I guess I am going to close testimony from the floor. Would someone like to make a motion and with the correction that they're requesting a side setback of 4 feet?
4 feet.
Can we do that, given that it hasn't been publicized that way, and these letters are all about?
That's a good point.
It said
Yeah,
4
we
feet somewhere.
discussed that, and we think that you would have the right to make that adjustment here at BZA if you wished.
Okay.
So it seemed like somewhere it said 4 feet, didn't it?
I don't
So maybe
Everything
it's
I
the
got is
top
5 feet.
copy.
think the letters, yeah, they
So
did. They just
the-
said variances, but they didn't say.
The letter from John and Tracy Hansen says 4 feet.
Oh, John and Tracy are the
Yes,
appellants.
the appellants. They
Yeah.
do say 8 feet to 4 feet in the letter.
Oh, in the letter, okay.
That's on, I don't know what page this is, about a third the way down in the document.
Well, what do you guys think we should do?
I think if Mr. Riggs thinks.
Says it's okay.
Move
All
forward
right.
with it.
So who would like to make the motion?
I will do so.
Yay.
I move that we grant a variance to the property at 110 Morris Avenue from ACC 231001, Table A, Schedule of Bolt Controls to allow a side setback of 4 feet, where 8 feet is the minimum, and to allow structure coverage of 34%, where 30% is the maximum allowed.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. All right, findings. Are there exceptional or extraordinary circumstances or conditions applying to the property in question or the intended use of the property that do not apply generally to other properties or classes or uses in the same zone?
I think, as Mr. Riggs said, that this is a smaller lot than is requested by code at this point, and that's because it's an older house. It was built, I think, in 1904, and consequently, another consequence of that is that they're very steep steps down into the basement. The basement ceiling is very, short, and it's really hard and potentially dangerous to use it as a laundry room,
Just like my basement.
possibly.
Because of exceptional or extraordinary circumstances or conditions pertaining to a specific piece of property, is it the case that a literal enforcement of these regulations will result in practical difficulty or undue hardship unnecessary to the achievement of public purposes? I would say yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Would literal interpretation of these regulations deprive the appellant of rights commonly enjoyed by others in the same zone and vicinity, or would the granting of the requested variance confer on the applicant any special privilege denied to other properties in the same zone and vicinity?
No, I think the setbacks are similar, and there's actually many that have less than 4 or 5 feet in the neighborhood because of the small lot size and the way building used to occur. So I
Right.
don't think there's any special privilege being granted here.
I agree. Is this the minimum variance required to make reasonable use of the property?
Seems like a
Yeah.
small.
I agree. Would there be any substantial detriment to adjacent property if we grant the variance? No. And is this of a general nature?
No.
No.
No. All right. Ready to vote? I forgot how we do this again. We just do it all at once, right?
Paper.
Yep.
We
Yeah.
probably need to use a sign since we
Yeah.
can't see our mouths move.
Yeah, okay. So, we start with, no, we
Together.
don't. How we get there?
All in favor, raise your hand.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Favor.
Okay. All in favor, raise your hand. Is that everyone?
Yes.
Okay. All right. 5 votes for, and you get your variance. Thank you. Okay. The next case concerns a narrow lot, I would say.
Same neighborhood.
At 34 Elmwood Place, case 2202V. The appellant is requesting a variance from Athens City Code 231001, Table A, Schedule of Bulk Controls, for a side setback of 4 feet and 4 inches, where 8 feet is the minimum, and a structure coverage of 36%, where 30% coverage is the maximum allowed. Mr. Riggs?
Yeah, this is also a original platted lot that's existing 50 by 150 feet, and where a minimum lot width currently is 66 feet. So it wouldn't meet our normal standards, and that's where our setbacks and lot coverage is based on those standard lots.
It's all the same neighborhood.
Same neighborhood,
Same
yes, sir.
neighborhood.
What did you say is the current?
66 feet and
66,
8,000
that's
square
considerable.
feet. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, it's a narrow place. Let's see, what do I do next?
Oh, I have a question.
Okay,
Because there's the current deck of a certain footprint that's, I think, about the same size as the addition that they want to swap out, does it mean that they're currently at a 36% lot coverage? And that if we granted this variance, it would that aspect would be all the same?
Yeah, what I recall is they're wanting to put a deck back, and they're going to remove this deck and replace it. And we didn't count what the old deck was, so I don't remember if they if it's I have to look see if it's the same size or not. But yeah, they're replacing an existing deck, and typically what we do is we assume that if you're going to repair a deck that's already existing, you wouldn't need to get a permit for that, worry about the setbacks. But if you're completely tearing it out and then replacing it, that actually kicks in these requirements because you're removing that deck and then replacing it.
okay. May I clarify for a moment? You can address that when you come up, if that's okay, yeah. All right, are there other questions for Mr. Riggs? Okay, you're welcome to come up to the podium now, and you can certainly address that question and anything else.
Perfect.
Please give your name and address.
Sure. Christopher Thrasher, 34 Elmwood Place.
Allison Thrasher, also 34 Elmwood Place.
Thank you.
So what we're actually building is an addition onto the back of the house. But yes, according to the same footprint that the deck was. So the deck on the house was dilapidated and
Caving in.
and frankly way too large for a deck to be effectively useful anyway. And the addition has the benefit of giving us a ground floor bedroom, which will help my wife a lot because she struggles with stairs. And in general, just give more room for our family and for our in-laws to come and visit and have a bedroom for them to stay in as well. So in terms of the lot coverage, I believe, yes, it's at 36 now, and it would continue to be at 36 in the future.
But we have the shed that is also on the lot that we understand if that is taken down, then that would account for the 36.
It would get us even closer to code, and that's actually part of our planning right now, is to remove an existing shed on the property as part of everything that we're doing for adding this addition onto the back.
Is that certain? Because on the drawing it says possible, shed possibly being removed, but that,
Oh, it's gonna be removed.
okay. This
You
shed will
haven't seen
definitely
this
be
lovely
removed.
shed.
I had another question, I thought. No, I guess maybe not. Other questions?
So the addition is basically gonna be the same footprint as the deck that's there now?
Yes,
And just gotta add utilities, water, electric.
correct.
And you own the adjacent lot, the
We
vacant
do,
lot?
yes,
Yes.
That vacant, you do?
yes.
I think that's really interesting, that you can't just sort of let that be an extension of your,
Yeah, they could replat.
Yeah.
But.
It's two parcels, right?
Then,
Yeah.
yes,
It is.
yes, but you can't.
but effectively,
Yeah.
yeah.
It is, so we're not inconveniencing anyone but
Right.
ourselves. We just didn't
Right.
want to go to the trouble of replatting or whatever would be necessary
Yeah.
to deal with that.
That's interesting. Other questions? We good?
Well, I'll ask one, the possible new set of stairs going to the basement is gonna open up towards your vacant lot?
The
The stairs going to the basement?
Yeah,
stairs,
you
the
mentioned
stairs
something
giving
about that.
access to the addition will be next to that adjacent lot, yes.
So it's stairs going up to the first floor from the
Gotcha.
ground.
Yes,
So the stairs will extend a little bit into that, encroach in that space?
they will. That's, I think, what is creating the concern with the
issue?
setback,
I
is
gotcha.
those
Yeah,
those
okay.
stairs for access into the addition on the back there.
Gotcha, okay.
Anything else? Okay, you can be seated and
Thank you.
Thank you.
you'll be invited to come back if you want to add anything after I read this letter. So, anyone wishing to speak in favor of the request, we received a letter from Kurt Montel, a near neighbor, and they said, please convey this correspondence to the Board of Zoning Appeals regarding our full support of the proposed addition to 34 Elmwood Place. It is refreshing to see our neighbors' intent of investing in our community by improving their residence. Their well-thought-out addition takes the place of an aging exterior deck. As we all know, these historic homes are a challenge to renovate and meet the city code requirements. We believe Allison and Chris Thrasher are presenting the minimum variance to achieve a standard of construction and quality of life that should be expected. Respectfully, Teresa and Kurt Montel, also Elmwood Place. So, any other discussion? Should we go ahead and,
Did we ask if anyone was
well, that's only them. That would be really weird if they,
opposed? I didn't know the other.
I'm sorry, yeah, he's with them. I think so. You're with them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so, so there's no one to speak in general comment or opposition. Appellant probably doesn't need to come back up. I think we're ready to close discussion and have a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Thank
I
you.
make a motion to grant a variance for 34 Elmwood Place to request the variance for ACC 231001, Table A, schedule of bulk controls, size setback of 4 feet 4 inches, where 8 feet is a minimum, structural coverage of 36%, where 30% coverage is the maximum allowed.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. All right, exceptional circumstances. I'm going to say that's a narrow lot.
Yeah. But they own a lot next to it.
Yeah, and they own the lot next to it, which I suppose we're not expected to consider, but we can't help but think about it. And this addition is, in terms of the footprint, is not really making any difference with respect to the old deck. Practical difficulty and undue hardship, would that be the case, that they would encounter practical difficulty or undue hardship if we do not grant the variance?
Yeah, they still have 36%.
Yeah,
lot coverage, and why shouldn't they flip it out for something that benefits everyone?
The deck is falling apart.
yeah. Okay, is the preservation of equal property rights an issue here? Is this a special privilege being granted them?
We just granted something similar.
Yeah. Is this the minimum variance?
Yeah, it's.
Yes.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah, it's absolutely.
I agree. Absence of detriment? There's no apparent
Now,
detriment.
there's no next door neighbor, right, so.
Yeah.
And it's just stairs that are encroaching, so it's just simply a staircase.
And is this of a general nature?
No.
Okay. All right, we're ready to vote. All in favor of granting the variance to this property at 34 Elmwood Place, please raise your right hand. All right, that's all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And now to the matter of minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Minutes.
I got all the minutes, but I wasn't here for it.
I know, I know I'm not the best organized person in the whole world, but I did my very best to figure out what we need to do about these. So,
But Kay said there was one we already did vote on.
yes, that's correct.
And we still got some from John.
No, I don't think so. I think we're good. So the first minutes that we need to approve are the August 10th minutes with Kay's correction. I've gone out of order now, dang it. Here it is. Yeah, she wanted to change the I to a V. So we'll agree that that needs to be done. David's sneaking up here.
It's a variance and,
My wife got into a car accident.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, bye.
All right, thanks.
Take care. Yeah, so with the understanding that I will be changed to a V, the members present at the meeting who are here tonight are myself, Rob, Kay, and Aaron. So do we just say all who wish to approve, and that would be?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to approve the minutes as amended by Kay, raise your right hand. Okay.
Approve.
Approved. September 14th meeting. Also, Lisa, Rob, Kay, and Aaron. Now, I have a note here that Kay made a couple of changes, a very good catch, because I didn't notice it at all.
Good chance misspelling, is that the one?
Yeah, it might have been, but she caught these, yeah, I think he got the misspellings. But Kay noticed some problems with the actual variances, the final variances. And so, assuming that those changes that she recommended will be made, can we vote to approve the September 14th minutes?
I think so.
Yes. Okay, so that's done. October is the meeting, the minutes were already approved. And the November 9th, I was not here. I didn't see that anyone submitted any edits, but the people who could,
Oh, I did.
Kay did.
oh, you did?
Yeah, and I agree with her. Her
Yeah.
correction
How
is
come I don't
100%
have
correct.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
What was
sorry.
that correction
That
again?
was the correction where the stipulation for the front porch on West State Street, kind of catty corner from the middle school,
Yeah, right.
to keep it single story.
We
not-
qualified it.
Yeah, with the qualifier just to remain one story and not to be boxed in as another bedroom,
Right.
basically.
Okay, so I'll follow up and make sure that these, let me write that down though, because I guess I didn't write anything because I wasn't here. So, stipulation added.
If you can read my writing.
We are stipulating, I can write this, I'll write this after the meeting. So, the stipulation was added to the motion then,
Yeah,
to the
that we
variance?
voted on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if that's added in, then I guess it will be enough, I guess just Kay, Rob, and Kelly. Is that enough? I mean,
That's-
it's- yeah,
that's-
what
That
else?
was the
over here.
one that he didn't show up in October.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah,
And
yeah.
he still chose not to show up at this meeting,
Oh,
if you recall. Yeah, yeah, so, we,
So do you three agree to
Yes.
approve those minutes?
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
Okay, wait, you,
With that change.
oh yeah, it does say Rob, Kelly, yeah. Oh, Aaron wasn't here.
I wasn't
called him
here.
I called you Rob, I think. Okay, great.
Yeah,
So
I think
then,
we have to have 3 to pass anything, right? So
I don't know, I was looking in the,
Yes,
It is three,
Okay.
yeah, and we only had 3.
Okay.
And we allowed the appellant to choose whether or not they wish to proceed. But-
Okay.
But they weren't even here to allow it, so we decided amongst ourselves
so I should have
that we were
understood
going to
that.
proceed.
Okay, I should have understood that the minutes would be the same, because I was looking up the minutes and looking to see what was the procedure for approving them, but it's just a 3 vote of persons
Yeah,
present
so you
at
have
the
to have 3
meeting.
people, and they all have
Okay.
to say yes. That's the
Okay.
Or if there are
minimum,
5,
right?
you still have to have 3.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
clear.
Right.
Thank you, everyone.
thank you, Lisa.
And that's it, right? In that case,
Think
this
so.
meeting is adjourned, and thank you all.
Yay.
Okay, let me just write that down.